Having evaluated my first and second designs, I move on to evaluating the third design, which, from my working drawings, I made a model for. This product certainly fulfills the aesthetic specification. I stated in the aesthetic specification that the product must utilise a limited colour palette to grant it a luxurious aesthetic and fit it with the modernist style. Certainly, this product utilises a primarily white frame with a red interior, which definitely grants it a luxurious feel, and definitely, I think, fits it in with the modernist style. The white gives it a very clean look, and the red grants it a lot of luxury. I also said that the product should utilise curves in order to give it almost a flow and make it look like it follows the shape of the human body. I think it definitely fulfills this. It has a lot of curves on it, not only in the actual shape of the chair itself, but also in the shape of the armrests and the peripheral vision obscurers, as we should call them. So I think it definitely almost flows with the shape of the human body. I think it definitely fills the cost specification. I stated that the product should be reasonably low cost, but also high quality materials being used. So it should cost around £50 to £80. This product utilises frost white acrylic for the main frame and red velvet for the interior. Really, the only costly thing would be the red velvet, and in the amounts we're using, the cost would not be raised too much by that. So the cost can definitely be kept around £50 to £80. Also, these materials are very durable, strong materials. Acrylic itself can withstand a lot of strain. It's a very tough material. So definitely the product will also retain its quality without compromising the cost. I stated that the client will be aimed at those who appreciate the modernist design movement and want a piece of functional furniture that reflects modernism and also contributes to the aesthetic of the environment. I think it definitely fulfills the values of the modernist movement. I took inspiration from a lot of modernist chairs, most specifically the egg chair by Arne Jacobsen. You can see that reflected in these armrests here, and so yeah, I think it definitely fulfills that part of the specification. I also stated that it must offer an immersive and luxurious seating experience. Because of its shape, the gentle curve of the back will gently kind of curve the back of the user itself, which will offer a lot of comfort. However, this bit here also keeps the user's head looking forward. So they're not leaning straight upwards towards the sky, they can constantly look forward. The most important thing with this product about granting a luxurious experience are these peripheral vision obscurers here. When the user is sitting in the chair, their peripheral vision is obscured by these. This separates them from their environment. This immerses them in the product, offering them a far more efficient resting experience in the chair. I stated in the environment that it must seat a fully grown human. As a result, it will not be portable, so it will likely be grounded in one position unless effort is exerted to move it. The product will likely be positioned in a room or lounge, or even in the client's personal bedroom where they can relax. So this product has no real limitations to where it's used. The stand that it relies on is balanced, so you can seat it anywhere really you want. There's no real exterior things that are needed, no power. So really, anywhere in the house, the user can place this chair and use it. So it definitely feels that. However, as I said in the specification, it is quite a large product. This model, which is to correct proportions, shows that the product itself would be likely quite hard to move unless you were to exert some effort in doing so. It also needs to be in quite an open space. It would be very unlikely to be fit inside a cupboard because of the sheer, just limitations to space in said cupboard. So I think that certainly fills part of the specification. Safety specification, I stated the product will interact with the client, so multiple safety precautions must be taken at all times during the design and manufacture of the product, and must ensure that all materials and fabrics are hypoallergenic and non-irritable. All moving parts of the product, should be any, are secured and safe to operate, and there is little chance of any of the user's digits being caught in moving parts. The product must have no sharp corners or edges. The product must not force the user into an uncomfortable or incorrect posture that may cause some chiropractic problems. The product must be made of an extremely sturdy and durable material, else the chair breaks and causes harm to the user. So I think it definitely fills this specification. Velvet typically is very hypoallergenic and non-irritable. It's a very soft material, which obviously is good for the user should they be allergic or have be particularly vulnerable to irritation. The product doesn't actually have any moving parts, which means the user has no real danger of trapping any fingers in digits. The only real danger is because of the weight of the product, because of its size. If the user were to trap their fingers underneath the stand, say for example during moving, that could cause their hand harm. The product must have no sharp corners or edges. Well, it definitely doesn't have that. All edges on these things here are curves. The product itself, because I wanted it to flow and move to almost the shape of the human body, has almost virtually no sharp edges. It may have a few edges here or there, however, they aren't particularly sharp. Acrylic itself is not a particularly sharp or abrasive material. It must be made of extremely sturdy or durable materials. Well, it's made of acrylic, which is a very strong material, so will withstand a lot of force, which means that no matter how much the user sits on it, or pushes down on it, or tips it over, the product will very unlikely break. It's also quite sturdy. The user can sit down on it, and the product itself is actually balanced, so it will likely not tip over. In the actual full-scale model, this further down will be weighted, so that the balance of the product is increased. So no matter how much the user leans back with enough force, this will not tip over. The weight distribution of the user on the chair is definitely considered in my design. This flat base here, which has quite a large surface area, distributes the weight of the user fairly evenly, and when it's made out of acrylic, which is very quite a stiff material, this bend that you see in the card model will not likely be there. So I think definitely the weight of the user will definitely be supported and distributed evenly over the surface area of the base. So there'll be no danger in the force actually causing any damage to the chair or the user. I stated that materials will be used on the product will be strong and stiff and tough in order to ensure the product does not break or crack when under the weight of the user and ensure a high build quality product life. So, as I stated originally, acrylic is used, which is a very strong, tough material. It's stiff, so will not produce much of an extension should any particular force be applied to it. It's tough, it can withstand a lot of dynamic loads, which is definitely an advantage for a chair. The velvet used on the chair, hypoallergenic and non-irritable. Also, because of this, the product has a very long product life, which means that this product will definitely be a good value for money. You'll be able to get a lot of use out of it. Additionally, the thermoplastic used is thermoplastic, so it can be recycled, and the velvet can be tertiary recycled in order that it can be used again. So this product not only has a long product life, but after its product life, it also is completely renewable and recyclable. So that's my design specification evaluated. I definitely think this product, out of all the 3 products I designed, is the strongest in regards to specification. This product not only fulfills specification the best, but also I find that also has the nicest aesthetic and almost fits in best with the modernist design movement. The flow of the chair, the way it moves, these vision obscures. I think this is definitely the strongest design, which is why I will be moving on and developing this idea design and make a scale prototype of this design.